Welcome back to another pristine production. Shout out to all the fans. And we're gonna get the show started here. Now, remember guys, you can also subscribe to my channel here, Pristine Productions, on YouTube. If you want to make a donation here, we appreciate that very much. Go on Cash App. Be sure to go on my website as well. Let me do the vocal here a little bit here. pristineproduction.webstart.com. If you want to click on the latest here, shop now. Get the latest in reggae, soca, dancehall, all that stuff there. I have Lion Kit Reggae Kit Volume 3 and 4 is out. So be sure to pick that up, guys. And if you want to learn how to mix and master professionally, Pro Dancehall in the box. Link in the description of Coursecraft. You can check out my mixing courses here. Pro Afrobeat in the box, Pro Reggae in the box, and Soca as well. But as you've seen earlier before, we're going to talk about a raw session with stock plugins here. And I'm going to show you some tips and tricks how to get things rolling here. So let's get right down into it here. And shout out to the artist Smooth from Belize. This is a dancehall cover here. So we're gonna do a little bit of, we're gonna use some stock plugs here from Studio One artists, and we're gonna show you how to get the mix up and running here. We're gonna do some basic EQ and some compression, that stuff. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to get UAD. You need to get all these plugins are great. Waves plugins is great. I'm a big fan. But you can get great mix with stock plugins. So I'm going to get right down into it here and do our stuff. So here is the session here that I have here. I have a couple of keyboards, pads. By the way, I built this cover. So, but we're going to treat it's raw. So I'm going to show you how we can do some treatment here. I didn't do any pre-processing or anything like that. I have some reverb, I think a reverb delay on one of the instruments, but it's pretty raw, you know, so we're definitely in need of some EQ and stuff here. So we got, this is a track from the artist, the cover from Serrani, and it's one of the old school tracks here. Smooth did a great job, and some people say he sounds like Serrani. You know, it's a talented kid. So let's get into it here. So we got the rhythm here. We got some ad-libs here. Now when you're listening to our track, you might identify what's the main pulse of the mix here. So already playing 10 seconds in here, although I was the one that produced this cover version here. The guitar is going to be the spotlight along with the rhythm section here, the piano and such, so we can get that nice feel here. Now pretty much we want to deal with the drum section here. We want to make sure we give it a little bit of fatness and all that stuff here, so I'm going to go into that. Let's go ahead and go down to the kick drum here. I'm going to isolate the kick, snares, the tambourine. Let's bring in the hi-hats here. For the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to go a little bit in solo here, but I don't normally practice that while I'm mixing an actual song. So I'm going to pull up the Fat Channel XT here, and we need a little bit of meat here. We need some power to the kick drum. So what we're going to do, sometimes people say, should you EQ before you compress or compress before you EQ? It all depends on the sound you're going for. You know, normally what I try to do as a guide, if you're going to be notching out stuff, then put the compressor after. You know, if you're gonna be boosting stuff, you know, make sure you have a balanced frequency set, and you can put the compressor either before or after, whichever one. But normally, if you're going to be notching out, then you want to compress first. So you have the frequency under control. Well, if you're going to be boosting, you want to make sure you put the compressor after to catch whatever you're boosting for the compressor to react. So I hope that makes sense, but use it at their own discretion here. There's no rules. You just got to know the feeling. So let's go ahead and get to the equalizer here. So what I'm going to do, I want some meat. I'm going to be EQing first, actually. You know, and I'm going to be compressing afterwards because I want more body on the kick, and I want the compressor to react to that weight I'm going to add to the kick. So that's the reason why I have it staged in that way. So I'm going to use the equalizer here, the passive EQ, the Pultec version that comes with Studio One Artist here. So let me go ahead and play. Now I'm going to be boosting. If I can go ahead and let me see, turn on my knob here. Let me switch the okay, let me bring that back up. I'm gonna turn on the switch here. I was trying to turn the knob while the plug is in off. Sometimes you can do that, but for this plug-in for Studio One here, I had to turn it on. So okay, so let's play the kick here. Bring the kick back. Now this is what the kicks sound like currently. So generally you want to go ahead and maybe try about 60 or 100. I'm gonna be boosting here until I start to get that weight. A little too much. Before, after. I'm going to boost the attenuation here. So I'm boosting 60 and I'm also cutting a little bit around 60. That way I don't spill over the high frequency here. Let me bring in some of the hi-hats here. Okay, so we have some weight to the kick drum. We're boosting about almost 3 dB here. Now I'm going to kick in the compressor here. Let's get a little bit of a snap to it. I'm going to be using the... Now these are the stock plugs that comes with a PreSonus. Better yet, let's go down to the digital EQ here. I think that would be a little bit more fair. It's not a lot of DAWs that comes with stock analog plugs, so let's keep it on digital side here. So I'm going to turn on the EQ here. We're going to go down to that 50 I was talking about here. So I'm going to move my slider here, and I'm going to start a boost. I'm actually boosting about 6 dB now on the digital side. While I was boosting on about 3 dB on the analog side, is because the analog is already adding meat to the signal here, so you can see a difference between analog and digital here. Now what you generally do, I'm going to look around maybe a little bit of 400 here. I'm going to cut a little bit out of that. Just to shape things up a little bit. So before, let's go to the before here. So that's before, this is after. Now I'm going to use a compressor here. I'm going to set the ratio to about, let's try maybe 2 to 1 here. I'm going to bring down the threshold here. And I'm going to turn on the compressor here. Let's push the threshold down till we see some compression here. Not sure if you guys are feeling that. Off. I'm getting a little bit more squeeze. Let's go ahead About a medium attack here. I want a fast release. Now the compressor is gently grasping and holding the kick here. So we got it clamped down. Before, after. I'm going to boost the makeup gain here a little bit here. So now we're getting some meat here from the EQ and the compressor here. Now let's go to the snare drum here. I'm going to pull up the fat channel here. We're going to use all digital here on these instruments for the sake of the tutorial here. I'm going to pull up the fat channel. Go to the EQ. I'm going to give a little bit of weight to the snare drum here. So maybe about 100 there. I'm going to tighten up the Q. I'm going to get a little bit of presence here to maybe about around 8K here. I'm going to tighten the Q so I don't spill over the frequency. I just want this particular frequency here. Let's go back here. You don't want to go too much. Bring it up a little bit. It's always a good practice to bypass before and after here. So we got a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of body on the drum, sound a little bit more rugged here, and we want some compression as well. I'm going to add a little bit of compression here, 2 to 1 here. I'm going to clamp down the snare because this is dancehall music. Let's bring up the makeup gain here. Okay, I'm definitely feeling that compression there. And now I'm going to bring down this tambourine a little bit here so it sounds a little bit more balanced with the instruments here. Let's see the other snare drum here that we have here. I'm going to go down now to the bass line here. Pull up the fat channel here. Now generally you want to cut away from the bass if it's sounding too much. I don't recommend boosting bass too much unless the bass is really weak, you know, because bass can be a very tricky instrument. You can end up over boosting the low end and have it unbalanced there. You'll be getting a mix that suck. But I want to control the bass. I'm going to turn on the compressor here. Bring that threshold down. I'm going to adjust the release here. Let's bring it back. I'm going to take it over to the right here. Over to the left. So I want to control that bass so I don't go too loud on us here. Let's bring up the volume here to almost close to where the kick is. Let's see what we got here with the other bass. bring this down a little bit here. Let's bring in the pads here. I'm gonna turn off this EQ because as you can see, there's no bottom end on this pad. I'm just gonna add a limiter to this thing here, so we can keep it under control. We don't want to over limit too much. Let's adjust the ceiling here. I'm gonna drive the input a little bit. I'm gonna lengthen the release here a little bit more. Let's do a fast attack so it grabs more of the dynamics here. And that way our pad don't get away and go too loud here. Let's see what we got here at the beginning here as well. That sound okay. Now let's go down to the go ahead to smooth vocals here.
When the work is done and the sun comes out, you're the one I wanna be with all night. When I'm feeling down and I'm with a frown, you're the one I wanna make.
Now we're gonna be using the fat channel here. We're gonna try and nice up this vocal here.
Feel alright. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Please, me baby, cut.
Now I'm gonna be tackling the compressor first because I can hear he's going up and down. There's a lot of dynamics in this performance here, so I want to control the dynamics here.
As you're my lady, tonight let's get crazy. Kiss me like I've never been kissed before. I'm knocking, please open that door. Let me paint your walls, moving my furniture, be a new perfect picture, cause we were meant to be. You're my baby. When the work is done and the sun comes out, you're the one I wanna be with all night. When I'm feeling
bring the threshold down.
You're the one I wanna make me feel alright. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel.
Notice when he says the compressor jumps and grab a lot of that volume there. So let's go.
Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel.
Bring up the attack here.
Oh, the one that makes me feel alright. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh,
4.
Oh, is this real?
He's going really loud there, so I'm gonna leave on the compressor here.
Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Put on the pretty clothes that I like you wear. Entice you with your special ordinary bouquet. I really like it.
So what I'm gonna do here now, we're gonna sweeten up a smooth vocal here. So
style your hair.
Here are a couple of little things we're gonna notch out here. So we're gonna pull up the Pro Q as well. We're gonna be using 2 EQ, one for notching out resonant frequencies that might get in the way of the vocal. Normally that happens on minimal basis here because mics are not perfect. We do get resonance sometimes, so we take it out so we don't destroy our ears, So let's go ahead and do that.
I'm gonna show you I care, baby. Show you what you mean to me, girl. You're the one I fiend to see. Love you, no one above you. My dream girl. When the work is done and the sun comes out, you're the one I wanna be with all night. When I'm feeling down and I'm with a frown, you're the one that makes me feel alright. Oh, is this
right about there when it says
oh.
So right where he says oh, you hear that resonance right there. I was boosting the frequency so you can hear it. Sometimes unless you've been an engineer for many years, you have the ear for it, or a practiced ear. These frequencies tend to hide, and when the music volume comes up, you might wonder why is something irritating your ears. Is because there's probably resonance in the vocal or the instrument here. So let's notch it out.
Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel.
Maybe a 2 or 3
Please
dB.
me, baby, 'cause you're my lady. Tonight, let's get crazy.
So we're doing a surgical EQ here to make sure smooth vocal, a little raspy.
Oh, is this
Fix it up.
real? The way you make me feel. Please me, baby, 'cause you're my lady. Tonight, let's get crazy. Kiss me like I've never been kissed before. I'm knocking, please open that door. Let me paint your walls, moving my furniture.
Now we're going to add some sweetening here. So we're going to be boosting a little bit of top end here. Adds a little bit of excitement to a smooth vocal.
Sun comes out, you're the one I wanna be with all night. When I'm feeling down and I'm
Let's try about 8K
you're the
here.
one that makes me feel alright. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel.
And do a little
Please
bit
me,
of
baby, 'cause you're my
bit of excitement
lady.
here.
Tonight let's get crazy. Kiss me like I've never been kissed before. I'm knocking, please open that door. Let me paint your walls, moving my furniture. Be a new perfect picture, 'cause we were meant to be. You're my baby.
Let's use a shelf EQ so we can boost all the way up from 8K to or from about 6K actually, 7K up to 10, 12, so we get that little extra sweetness on the top.
The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Please me, baby, 'cause you're my lady. Tonight let's get crazy. Kiss me like I've never been kissed before. I'm knocking, please open that door. Let me paint your walls, moving my furniture. Be a new perfect picture,
4.
'cause we were meant to be.
After.
You're my baby. When the work is done and the sun comes up.
Now you got to make sure you're not boosting too much because his voice is raspy. He has a great tone voice, but with a vocal like these, you can easily overstep your boundaries, and it gets too sharp, too bright, and rip off your ear, man. So you got to be careful with these frequencies.
You're the one I wanna be with.
Maintain the sweetness here.
You're the one I wanna make me feel alright.
What about 4 dB here?
Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel.
Listen to the word feel, and I'm gonna back off a little bit on the top end
I'll
here.
be with all night when I'm feeling down and I'm with a frown. You're the one I wanna make me feel alright. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Put on the pretty clothes that I like.
Now let's see what's going on with some of the harmony tracks
The
here.
way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Please me, baby, 'cause you're my lady. Tonight let's get crazy. Kiss me like I've never been kissed before. I'm knocking, please open that door. Let me paint your walls, moving my furniture. Be a new perfect picture, 'cause we were meant to be.
I'm gonna add a little bit of EQ on the harmony as well.
When the work is done and the sun comes out, you're the one I wanna be with all night. When I'm feeling down and I'm with a frown, you're the one I wanna make me feel alright.
I'm just boosting about 3 dB at 8K. They don't want to get in the way of the lead here.
Oh, is this real?
Let's bring in the Roland piano here now. We're gonna be adding the fat channel to it as well.
The way you make me feel.
Here we go.
Wanna make me feel alright. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Please me, baby, 'cause you're my lady. The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Please me, baby, 'cause you're my.
Want to brighten up that piano a little bit here.
Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real?
Just a little bit there.
Please me, baby, 'cause you're my lady. Tonight,
Let's bring in the guitar here.
let's get crazy. Kiss me like I've never been kissed before. I'm knocking, please open that door.
And you can sort of hear the mix coming together. You know, a smooth voice is cutting through the mix already, but we're bringing in the other elements so we can enjoy it as well here. So I'm going to use a little bit of a red light that comes with Studio One artist here to give this guitar a little bit more drive, a little bit more push here. Add a little bit of reverb. Let's add the chorus that comes with Studio One artist as well here. You can use any a chorus effect here. Let's use this one. Give a little bit of a wider feel. Now I'm going to go down to, let's bring back in the pads here. Bring it down a little bit here.
Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Put on the pretty clothes that I like you wear. Entice you with your special Lord.
It's very important to listen to the vocal along with the mix as you're going along. If you keep on isolating the vocal by itself, you're going to be chasing your tail. The mix is never going to done. The artist's going to get another mix engineer.
I really like the style your hair. I'm going to show you I care. Baby, show you what you mean to me.
Now what we have here is a another ad-lib track here.
It makes me feel alright. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel.
So I'm just gonna fill that in there. I don't really need to do much. It's just a double here. It's giving the vocal a little bit of, you know, a little bit of body, a little bit of width.
Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Please me, baby, cause you're my lady. Tonight let's get crazy. Kiss me like I've never been kissed before. I'm knocking, please open that door.
Now let's go down to that guitar here for the sake of the tutorial here. Now we want to allow this guitar to ride with smooth vocal here. So let's do some EQing here. I need a little bit of body here. Maybe about 140. I'm going to engage the compressor here since we're both in the low end. I'm going to adjust the attack so it catches the guitar good here. Let's see what it sounds like with just the vocals and the guitar.
Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Please me, baby, cause you're my lady. Tonight let's get crazy.
Let's bring in the ad-libs here.
You're the one that makes me feel alright.
Now we can send that guitar in a little bit of back room here. So I'm going to pull up the office here. I'm using the stock room verb here from Studio One artist here. So we got a little bit of dimension depth here.
Me and you perfect picture, cause we were meant to be. You're my baby. When the work is done and the sun comes out, you're the one I wanna be with all night. When I'm feeling that.
Once this mix is balanced, it doesn't matter what you bring in next. It's just the pads, bass, everything's supposed to be cutting through. Just doing a little bit of rebalance here.
Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Put on the pretty clothes that I like you wear. Entice you with your special ordinance, okay? I really like how you style your hair. I'm gonna show you I care. Baby, show you what you mean to me. Girl, you're the one I've been to see. Love you.
piano here.
My dream girl. When the work is done and the sun comes out, you're the one I wanna.
What we can do is do a little bit of automation here on the Roland piano here.
Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real?
I'm gonna be using the delay that comes with PreSonus here.
The way you make me feel. Please me, baby, 'cause you're my lady. Tonight let's get crazy. Kiss me like I never.
So I'm gonna do some latch on here when the piano hits the first time.
Oh, I'm knocking, please open that door. Let me paint your walls.
Right about there, but let's go back a little bit here.
I'm knocking, please open that
There we go.
door. Let me paint your walls, moving my furniture. You're no perfect picture, 'cause we were meant to be. You're my baby. When the work is done and the sun comes up.
Now let's make some adjustment here with the delay.
Let me paint your walls, moving my furniture. You're no perfect picture, 'cause
It went a little bit loud, so we're gonna use the limiter to catch that there. So I'm gonna go on my delay track here. If I can find that real quick here. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna pull up the limiter here and get that under control. It's the quickest way to keep your delay nice and balanced, you know.
let me paint your walls, moving my furniture. You're no perfect picture, 'cause we were meant to be.
Let's take up.
You're my baby. When the work is done and the sun, paint your walls, moving my furniture. You're no perfect picture, 'cause we were meant to be. You're my baby. When the work is done and the sun comes out.
Better yet, what we're going to do, let's use a compressor to control this here. I'm going to remove the limiter here. And this is what typical engineers do in dealing with raw sessions here. It takes work, but when it's done, you know. So let's go ahead and do some heavy compression.
Open that door. Let me paint your walls, moving my furniture. You're no perfect picture.
There it is.
'Cause we were meant to be. You're my baby. When the work is done and the sun comes out, you're the one I wanna be with all night. When I'm feeling down and I will.
Bring up the vocal a little bit.
You're the one I wanna make me feel alright. Oh, is this real? The way you make me feel. Oh, is this real? The way you make.
And pretty much we have a rough balance here for the mix here. We have smooth vocal cutting through with a little bit of automation on the piano here, and you know, a couple more things we got to do, but this is generally how you attack a raw session there. You make sure you analyze the sounds and what needs to push the music. The guitar is a beautiful strumming guitar, so I want to make sure that's riding along with the vocal here. So I'm gonna stop there, guys. Remember, you can hit me up on my YouTube channel. You can link up on my course craft and also my website to buy my rhythms, reggae, dancehall, soca, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.